Okay, everybody. Now, it's a Crispin Wall topic, and this is the final Crispin Wall talk I'm going to talk about. But here's the thing. Okay, I know this was back in 2007, I believe, when Crispin Wall had the double murder suicide. But there's been questions asked, there's been talk about this for years and years, and WrestleMania is coming up. So, they have the Hall of Fame ceremony stuff, okay? Now, looking at comments on YouTube, looking at interviews on YouTube, everything I've looked at on YouTube, from the evidence of what happened that day to Jim Ross's interviews, Jim Cornette's interviews, the topic is why he should not be in the Hall of Fame, and I'll tell you why. Okay, well, Crispin Wall, he was an excellent wrestler. There was nothing. He was an A-plus wrestler. No matter what anyone says, he was a great wrestler. He was on his way to become an ECW World Heavyweight Champion until that happened. I mean, Crispin Wall, he is a legend in all your minds. He is a legend. He should be in the Hall of Fame because as a wrestler. But if he went in the Hall of Fame, and here's why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. It's because if he went in the Hall of Fame, how would you feel about it? This would be like the biggest... Okay, say Crispin Wall went in the Hall of Fame. Okay, on everybody's mind, here's what they would say. They'd ask the question, why'd they put him in the Hall of Fame? He's a murderer. He killed his kid. He killed his wife. Some people would say, I'm happy for him. A lot of people would be like, why'd they put him in the Hall of Fame? If they put Crispin Wall in the Hall of Fame, okay, I would be so questionable about it, I would forget all about WrestleMania in general. I swear to God. The talk of the night would be, why is Crispin Wall in the Hall of Fame? Well, except for the kids in the audience, whatever. But you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, we decided we're going to induct Crispin Wall. Okay? Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 32. That's not what you're going to talk about. You're going to think to yourself, Crispin Wall, Hall of Fame. Crispin Wall, why is he in the Hall of Fame? He's a murderer. I don't agree. Screw wrestling. He's in the Hall of Fame. I'm happy for Crispin Wall. Yeah, he's a legend. We need to forgive him and move on. I don't agree with you for forgiving him. It's gonna be nothing but contradiction after questionable people wondering why did they put Crispin Wall in the Hall of Fame. Even the people who think he deserves it would ask why they did it because of what he did. Now his wrestling career. This has nothing to do with his wrestling career. I was looking at an interview with Jim Ross and Jim Cornette, and Jim Ross was saying that if he went in the Hall of Fame, you wouldn't think about his wrestling career that none of you guys, or majority of you anyways, did not even get to witness. Okay, I remember his matches with Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho and Triple H and, Bobby Lashley. And he had a lot of great matches. I'm not very good at naming matches. I remember when he got his neck injured back in 2001 at King of the Ring, between his match with Chris Jericho and Stone Cold Steve Austin at King of the Ring. I remember when he was out. I remember when he returned to Raw, and Eddie Guerrero returned just a month before that, and they were a tag team again. I remember his success. Ever since he was in the WWE, I remember watching him and following him through his career, even if I didn't really care for him that much. He was a great wrestler. He could put on a 5-star match and world champion material. I remember WrestleMania 20, even though the WWE doesn't want you to remember. The thing about the WWE is they always throw in things to kind of give you a reason to remember him. Like, they're talking about how, like, on the WWE Network, how, like, if you watch a match of his, there's a warning saying this guy killed his family or is a murderer. You've been warned. This guy is up to no good. But the thing is, what the Hall of Fame is, he deserves it, but he shouldn't go in because of the controversy that would surround it. I mean, do you want people to? Do you want to put him in the Hall of Fame and everybody just question for months and weeks and weeks and weeks and years about why did they do this for him? So you're gonna put Crispin Wall in the Hall of Fame, but you're not gonna put RVD in the Hall of Fame. You're gonna put Crispin Wall in the Hall of Fame before you put the Undertaker in the Hall of Fame. You're gonna put this piece of shit murderer in the Hall of Fame before you put someone like Dean Malenko in the Hall of Fame. So you put him in the Hall of Fame, and then there's more questions that surround it. Why was this guy in the Hall of Fame? That's what would be asked for years. You're going to put him in the Hall of Fame, but not, someone who actually deserves it. You know what I mean? They put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. But that's why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, because of controversy and what people would say. That's all I want to say about that. You don't have to like this video. This is my personal opinion on why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. And that's all I want to say. Have a nice day. And bye.